Hey, I'm Brian Van.
I'm Max Van.
And we're here today. Oh, this is pretty exciting, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
To unpack the all-new Alpinestars Tech Air 10 airbag system. Okay, so let's open up with a couple of the minor details and we'll get into all the really cool stuff. As of the time we're shooting this video, the retail for this is $999.95. Please understand, that could change at some point. We don't update videos for pricing changes, only when the product itself has been completely redesigned. This is a single deployment device. It has more coverage area. It is the fastest deploying device on the market today. Okay, we're going to get more to the technical side as we continue forward. Sizing, that's something we like to really get into quickly too. How tall are you? What do you weigh, bud?
I'm 5'11" and a half. I'm around 145 to 147 pounds, and I wear a size small in this.
And that is the same size that he wears in his Tech Air race vest. For reference, the race suits that Max is in right now are €48. He wears the Alpinestars GP Tech V3, and for this year, he's moved into the Alpinestars Racing Absolute suit, also in a €48. How does this feel under the suit compared to your Tech Air race?
I mean, to be honest, it sounds a little weird, but it feels lighter. It feels, more mobility around the bike, and honestly, like it a lot more.
And it has more coverage area.
Yeah.
When you look at this, right, and we're going to show you guys probably more detail than you even want. We have multiple videos that are going to cover this product. It's very technical, okay? Let's talk coverage area first. This has level 2 chest protection right to here. Level 2 protection in the collarbone area, in the upper arm area, ending right where you see my index finger. Level 2 protection in the back, right? And this is all connected in the back down to here, and then it expands down here into the upper leg, completely covering the hips. It has 2 canisters inside, but uses both of them for a single deployment. Where this separates from the Tech Air race that we have, how many deployments do you have on that?
Probably 9.
Probably 9, and it's worked great every time. We really believe in this technology. The single deployment requires, because of the additional volume that's going into this, it requires the use of both canisters at one time. A repack, as long as you don't need to replace the airbag, is going to be $199. For now, Alpinestars will be the only place that can take care of that in Torrance. You get 3 deployments before you need to replace the airbag itself, as long as there was no damage to the airbag in the deployment. In the event that you need to replace the canisters and the airbag, the cost for that will be $399. So to recap, you can deploy 3 times with just a standard repack for $199. At this time, only Alpinestars could do it. We do believe in the future this is going to be opened up to select dealers. Odds are we're going to be one of those, because this is this is 100% in our wheelhouse. Something else that's different with this product is if you had a Tech Air race system, or if you were looking at the Tech Air race system, those suits shipped with an LED panel on the left sleeve. It was an indicator to give us an idea.
Yeah, on how many charges I had left and if it was charged.
And if it was charged. That was nice because you could have an idea, especially when you first got on the bike. It's probably a little hard to look at once you start racing.
Well, to be honest, every time I got on the bike, I always checked down to make sure it was there and, the lights were green.
Yeah, so. And that's like Pavlov's dogs. You were conditioned because you knew how important that vest was.
Big time. After it went off once and, I saw how it protected my collarbone and everything around me, I definitely knew I needed to have it on for the next one.
You don't want to ride without it.
Oh, definitely not.
So this one, right, one of the differences with this vest, with this airbag system now, is that it has an LED panel that Bluetooths, you gotta love technology, right to the airbag itself. So you could mount this somewhere on your bike. We've tested the range. It's got plenty of range. Mm-hmm. Actually, on his Ninja 400 Moto America bike, we've already come up with a spot.
Yeah.
Because you're going to be racing in this year.
Yeah, we'll show you guys that too.
Yep, we'll show you this too. It's going to be on his dash so that when he's looking at his predictive lap time, as you're going around, right?
I know I'm protected, so I can have more confidence to push.
More confidence to push. And I think that in racing, that having trust in your safety gear
Yeah, it's huge.
is a huge benefit. Before we get into more details about the product, it's really important that you guys understand how well this works and what our experience with this has been. I've had one deployment, and I think the crash I had, it felt like it could have been one where could have been injured. I wasn't. It hurt, but I didn't get injured. He's got like 9 deployments.
Yep.
Thank Jesus you've gotten up every single time. Yep. And I'll confess, I'm starting to worry less and less when you're out there. And part of that is the trust I have in this. 9
deployments, and I'm still beautiful. So.
Well, that part is debatable. So last year at the final round of the Moto America Junior Cup that, if you know or don't know, we sponsor that class in Moto America. It was a wet weekend. On the very first lap of the first wet practice session, Max was out there, and you were ripping. You had a great lap. I'm like, this is going to be great. I think the kid's going to do awesome. Myself, Jimmy, Dave Bavel, we're standing at I think Sean Hughes was there with us too. Mm-hmm. We're standing at the hot pit wall. We're watching him come on the straightaway, and he comes onto the straightaway, starts driving out of the corner, and next thing we know,
hit a puddle, and I'm in the air. So
in the air, we saw the LEDs change color on his sleeve. Mm-hmm. We saw his airbag inflate while he was flying in the air before he got slammed to the ground. So we had that unique opportunity to be, 50 feet away from you, 45 feet away?
Something like that.
Because our pit space was literally right down there. And we got to watch that deploy and see you get right back up, thumbs up, and then you got to sit there and watch the whole session go.
I did.
But that's part of racing. This stuff works. It has the ability to protect you from an injury, right? There's no guarantees with anything in life, but we've seen it work multiple times. It's so much cheaper than any copay or missing any work. If you're riding on the racetrack and you can even kind of afford this stuff, we give it the absolute highest recommendation that we can. And we're going to show you some pictures of him in the air so you can see that stuff. Probably laugh at it because he made it funny. He's like waving at everyone. It's pretty hilarious. We're just going to show you that. And then we're going to stop with a sales pitch, and we're going to dive right back into the features and benefits of the Tech Air 10. Okay, and now here is the thing that everybody really wants to see. The deployment for the Tech Air 10.
Let's give it a go.
Are you nervous?
Oh, a little bit.
This is from a guy who has deployed his Tech Air race 9 times on a track. You're nervous.
I'll be good.
All right, kid.
Let's give it a go.
Let's see what you got.
In 3, 2, 1.
Okay, there we go. We are post-deployment. I really want to get my shots in now. Let's rotate around. Let's show people what we got. Shoulders. I can hear the air bleeding out now. You can see how the back. This is. Wow. Look at the hips. And this is all right here. This is coming down from here. He's covered right to here. So that's basically going to grab his tailbone. Keep turning. You can see this takes a hot minute for it to. That's interesting. The lights are off. I don't know if that's. We used it. So how we deployed this was Alpinestars supplied a test program to us, and Jimmy Fox was in the room here. He is our resident tech guy, and he deployed it. One thing I do want to really stress too is you're going to see there's a difference here in the two sides. That is because of the connector to the chest. Right here, and also we don't have a race suit on. When you have the race suit on, what the race suit is really going to do too is serve as a framework to hold everything together. And what I've been told is in their testing, it really keeps this gap here much more narrowed up, right? Think of the race suit as the foundation for the airbag. When you're in your car and your airbag deploys, I don't know if you all who are watching this know this, if you take the windshield out of the car, the airbag doesn't work because the airbag comes off, it works off the windshield. The windshield is a functional part of the airbag system in an automobile. And in this sense, the race suit is a functional portion of the airbag system itself. This is really, comparing this to the race, that's a big difference.
That's a huge difference.
That's a huge difference. You're going to be this thing goes off. You're going to know it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
mean, I definitely felt it there because I was expecting it, but, it's a lot different than, having it happen here than out on track. So,
Oh, 100%. And I remember when I did the Tech Air 5, I felt
yeah.
the same way. So there you have it. There is a deployed Tech Air 10. Okay, when you first get your Tech Air 10, right, begin by reading the secret document that it comes with. And before you do anything with it, let's get this charged up completely. The charging port for the unit, I like how they integrated it on this one, is right back here. It comes with your charging cable, your charger block. This block works with different style plugs. You're going to see all those adapters in there. You're going to want to make sure you use the one that, and this is what we use here in the US. It simply slides in here, locks in place, and you're good to go. The charging time is listed in the secret document. What I did is I plugged this in. I think we were at home last night. I think it took, I don't know, maybe it was plugged in for like 4 hours. You want to make sure you charge it when it's at temperatures that are basically above freezing and not in like the Death Valley range of temperatures. That's that way with pretty much any lithium batteries that are going to be used. And for the little LED panel, how is that charged? The LED panel gets charged, and we don't have that right now. It's sitting over on the counter somewhere because Max keeps screwing around with it. But it Velcros on right here, okay? And anytime it's hooked to the unit itself and the unit is charged, it's going to recharge that LED panel. When you are charging the unit, if you have your LED panel, it's going to charge that at the same time it charges the Tech Air 10. Okay, let's go ahead and let's talk protection because this is really what this thing's all about. We showed you where the coverage area was at, right? This is able to deploy from between 20 and 40 milliseconds. That depends on which size. Max has one of the smaller sizes. It's going to deploy a little bit faster. What is a millisecond? I think 24 milliseconds is like 1/40th of a second. It's faster than you can blink. That's how quickly these deploy. Now let's talk about energy management. Something I think we're all familiar with is a level 1 CE certified back protector. Mm-hmm. That, in order to pass that level 1 standard, you have to transmit no more than 18 kilonewtons of force to the body. What is 18 kilonewtons? This is a weird thing. That's roughly 4,046 foot-pounds of force to the body. Level 2 back protector, right? That one is 9 kilonewtons, I believe, of force, and that's going to be like 2,023 foot-pounds of force to the body. The level 2 airbag now, not level 2 back protector, but level 2 airbag is like 2.5 kilonewtons. The Alpinestars Tech Air 10, and this is independent third-party stuff, and I'm getting these numbers from Alpinestars. I don't have all this equipment in the back of the shop testing this, right? You've tested it a few times.
I have.
And it worked. But their claim is this transmits 0.9 kilonewtons of force to the body, which equates to about 224 pounds. That is like a 95% reduction when you compare it to a level 1 back protector. I took plenty of crashes in CE level 1 armor when I started doing this, and was okay. It hurt, right? And I did break a collarbone, but the difference is 95%. That is massive. The data collection for this, okay, is done using a total of 4 tri-axis sensors. So, it could be billed as 12 sensors because you're measuring it at 3 different points in each sensor, whatever, right? You've got one in each shoulder, and we show you this in another one of the videos. We take this whole thing apart. I show you how to wash it, right? 2 in the shoulders. There's 2 here in the race hump. The race hump also incorporates the inflator cartridges as well as the actual computer, if you will, for the system itself. This back protector is an upgrade as compared to the one in the race unit. This is a CE level 2 certified back protector that's fixed right to this garment. How do we turn it on? How do we turn it off? Very simple. Once again, Max has got his little LED panel on here. You don't ride like that. He just has it on there for display now. This system is activated and deactivated by simply doing the waist belt up. You don't have to have it like with the Tech Air Race where you have to line up the little magnets. That's gone. All you have to do is just go ahead and do your waist up.
Yeah, nice and easy.
And there's two ways to monitor whether or not the system is turned on. Number one is going to be with your LED panel. We're going to show you a little B-roll at some point here of how we mounted that on his Ninja 400. I think that's the spot we're going to end up going with because I know he likes to look at that stuff, and I want to make sure he has access to it because if it makes it more comfortable and the kid can go faster, God bless, that's what we're there for. Another way to look at it, and another way the old man can have a little peace of mind, is you get into the Tech Air app. This is the app that would be used for the Tech Air 5. It's been upgraded to also work with the Tech Air 10. From here, right, you can see what is my state of charge. I'm at 95% right now, which is good. We've been messing around with this thing for a long time. Shows that we're connected. It shows the riding mode that we're in is race. The ship's in the race mode. It can be changed to the street mode. There are some differences there, which we're going to try and articulate now. I do also want to show you that you can go into the settings menu here. You can check to see if there is a software update necessary. This system has already been updated. I actually did that myself earlier today. I would normally have Jimmy Fox do that, but I banged that one out because it was so easy with this app.
Didn't take too long either. Maybe took 5-10 minutes at the most.
Yeah, you were sitting there. So let's say that, hey man, I'm going to take this out for a blast on the street. Go into riding mode here on the menu. Boom, boom. Go into your street mode. I'm not going to do that now. Like that. Documents. The secret document that comes with it right here. The user's manual. When it comes to the LED light statuses, there's for different states of charge, all that. I'm going to encourage you to go in here for those fine details, right? We call this a secret document. Reference that. You can also get to that from the app here on the phone. The important thing to know is this, okay? When you're in the race mode and the system is fully activated, I'm going to talk about that more in a second, you're going to end up with only the green LED. And when Max sees green, Max thinks,
go.
That's right. It is go time, okay? So, in the race mode, which is the only mode that we're going to be using this in, to turn the system on, like we showed you, all you have to do is just connect, just leave it connected, is just connect that. In order for this system to be armed, and I'm going to explain why it is this way, and it's going to make a lot of sense as we go through this. In order for this system to be armed, it needs to see you at, and it had some varying reports here, but with our experience with the Tech Air Race, in the manual it says it needs to see 37 miles an hour, right? You're in an active riding position, you're moving around on the bike, things are happening, because the sensors, remember, they're measuring everything all the time. It needs to see that, and then for 10 seconds, and then it's armed, and you're good to go, all right? That is identical with how it works with the Tech Air Race. Now, once you stop riding, and you've actively stopped riding for a predetermined period of time, which was not referenced in the secret document, the system is going to no longer be activated. Why is that, you ask? Well, hopefully this year, when this young man scores his first ever podium, wins, that would be even better. There is going to be a lot of celebrating, probably a lot of high fives, probably I'm going to scoop him up and give him a gigantic hug. It's going to be a lot of celebrating. It is possible that those type of movements could cause the airbag to go off. For that reason, it will disarm itself after it sees a period of inactivity. That's in race mode. Now, let's say you switch this thing to street mode. If you own it and you're street riding and you want to be protected, you get kind of crazy. I think the street's more dangerous to not ride in it, right?
Yeah,
100%. Now, in street mode, this thing is armed and ready to rock and roll the minute you do that belt up. When you do that belt up,
it's going.
This thing's going. That way, if you get hit from behind and you're stationary, whatever the case may be, So what I'm trying to tell you here is, if you have friends that aggressively like to celebrate your presence at a riding event, make damn sure you've undone your waist belt before you come in contact with them, because it is possible, I suppose, under the right measurements that it could pop off. So that is one of the big differences between the street and the race algorithm. Okay, now let's take a minute and let's compare the other Alpinestars airbag devices that are currently on the market, the Tech Air Race and the Tech Air 5, to the all-new Tech Air 10. Beginning with the Race. We have experience with all these products now,
Yes,
right?
we do.
The Race and the Tech Air 5.
Yeah.
You deployed the Tech Air Race multiple times. Your teammate Joe Lemandry Jr. was in the Tech Air 5 at Barber last year, had a deployment.
Yeah, said it saved him. Big help.
He was really happy when he came.
He
He's like,
was.
I think that saved a collarbone. He had a crash in the rain out of Race 2. So we have experience with both products. Let's talk about how this differs as compared to the Tech Air Race. This one comes integrated into an undersuit. So sleeves, front and back, and then right down to here, we see that red band. Okay, that is what comes with the Tech Air 10. There are other, and it's removable. It can be washed. It can be replaced. We have a separate video showing you how to remove it, so that way you can wash it and reinstall it without a hiccup. If you're like, man, I'd like to have a full-length undersuit that comes down to here, we have that available as well with this. We've ordered a bunch of those. It's a little to the spendy side because it's a pretty technical garment, but it will be available. At the end of the day, there's different ways to do this. You could use an undersuit under here like Max is right now. You could ride just with your skivvies,
Yep.
right?
You do whatever you want, basically.
And the undersuit, whatever makes you happy is what you can do. This is also a universal garment, okay? You can wear this under any race suit that is Tech Air compatible, first off, because that has all the stretch paneling in it to allow for deployment. Or any race suit that offers 4 centimeters of expansion capability in the chest area and 2 centimeters of expansion capability in the lower extremity area. So this is universal, can go to many other garments. It's a single deployment device. It can be used in street mode or race mode. It ships already in race mode. You're able to hook this up with the app like we showed you. So these are the things that does. Data collection on this is 4 sensors, 3 access, 12 data points. Tech Air Race can be a dual deployment device in every size except for the 2XL.
Yeah.
That is kind of a clear advantage
It is.
between the two, right?
Got 2 deployments for the weekend.
2 deployments for the weekend. That can only be used with a Tech Air compatible device that has the harness for the LED lights in the sleeve and has the ability to zip in and Velcro in so it's properly held in place. That is not a universal device. Obviously, the Tech Air Race doesn't have the lower body protection, and the Tech Air Race also, when you look at the protection between the two, the Tech Air 10 has Airbag CE Level 2 protection in the chest. The Tech Air Race has Airbag Level 1 protection in the chest area. Now let's move on to the Tech Air 5. The Tech Air 5 can be used street or track. The Tech Air 5 is another universal unit that can be worn with any garment that has basically in the chest area, right, that 4 centimeters of space to manage a deployment when it goes off. Joey wore that under a non-airbag heroic suit,
Yep.
and
Great.
it worked just fine. He was puffed up like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, and it protected him, and it was fantastic. That Tech Air 5 can connect with the Tech Air app, so you're able to see the status, the state of charge. Those things are an advantage. Can't do that with the
advantage.
Yeah, you just know how much battery you have.
Oh, yeah.
The Tech Air Race stuff, I'm just always charging that before the weekend. Battery life from all the units is very, very similar. You're talking about basically 24 hours of riding time, pretty close to that. We suggest for anyone,
After every weekend.
yeah, 100%, recharge it. And also, keep an eye on your app. Make sure you've got a good state of charge. The last thing you want to do is be out there and not have a proper state of charge so you don't have a deployment. Those are the differences between the 3 devices. I'm going to say this, and I'll say this again at the end. If you have questions based on that, I missed something, it's possible, leave that in the comment section of this video. Answer all that stuff myself, and I'll get you set straight. Well, there you have it. I think we've covered this about as good as we can. One thing I know that I missed, QR code. When you're going to add this to your app, you're going to find the QR code is going to be right here on the left part of the belt on the inside. So you're just going to scan that with the app. It's really super simple and easy to use. There's a lot of stuff going on here. This is very technical, right? Obviously, I'm pretty deeply involved in this myself. I answer all the YouTube questions personally. You have any questions about this garment or any one of the Tech Air garments, please leave that in the comments section. I answer all that stuff myself, and I want to make sure you have the same experience with this state-of-the-art protective technology that we have.